channel for another video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kennedy and I'm a vintage curator and seller, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite way to find my new inventory, to build my personal closet, to furnish my apartment, and that is with estate sales. I love these things. They're my favorite weekend activity. If you need to do something on the weekend, it's gonna have to be afternoon, okay? Because in the morning, I'm going through someone's house and I'm finding all of the vintage goodies, okay? It's just my favorite thing to do on the weekends. I've had quite a few little estate sale videos do well on Instagram and TikTok. I'm talking about like 1.3 million views, 70K, 400K, like they are my best performing videos on my other social platforms, and they always have so many questions like, what are they, where do they find, like where can I find them, what's the pricing like, just so many questions. So I did a little estate sales 101 video on TikTok, and I figured I would bring that energy over here because if there's that many people interested on TikTok and Instagram, there's gotta be an audience for it on YouTube. And since it's something I love talking about and can be super low maintenance, I'm here for it. Life has just been like smacking me around lately, and I'm just trying to meet myself where I'm at. If I've learned anything in adulthood, it's that sometimes you have high production days and other times there are low production days. But we got to keep moving forward. So today's a low production day, so we're just going to chit chat about my favorite subject and learn a little thing or two. So get your laptops, get your notebooks, get your iPads, whatever you got to get, because class is officially in session. Let's get into it. All right, class, so before we go any further, we need to discuss what estate sales even are, because some of you don't know, and that's why you clicked on this video. But don't worry, I'm here to help. I'm gonna explain everything. It's super simple. So the way I like to describe estate sales is that they are just glorified yard sales. So what happens in a yard sale? The owner will bring out stuff that they no longer want or need. They'll put it in the yard, all priced and beautiful. You get to walk up, do a little shopping. If you see something you like, you get to go up to the owner, say, hey, let me buy this, and then you can buy it and you can leave. They're happy, you're happy. It's a beautiful thing, right? Well, estate sales are basically the exact same thing, except everything on the estate is up for grabs. I'm talking everything in the house, everything in the garage, if they have a shed, everything in the shed. Furniture, home decor, lighting, clothes, shoes, accessories, kitchen supplies, TVs. I've seen a lawnmower sell, I've seen bikes sold, toys, washer and dryer, literally anything on this property. I've seen plants go. I'm talking everything on the property is priced and ready to be sold. Everything. Little disclaimer, a lot of times these estate sales happen for one of two reasons. The first and main one being is that a loved one has passed away and the family just needs help getting rid of some of their possessions. So a lot of times the family will go through, they will pick out everything they want to keep, the things they hold near and dear to their heart, and then they will bring in a company to come in, get everything priced and sold and cleared out for them. The money made from this estate sale a lot of times will go towards funeral costs, or even maybe the loved one racked up a bunch of medical bills before they passed away. The money can go towards that as well. So the estate sale company takes a small cut and then the rest of it will go to the family. At that point, the family can either move into the house, they can sell the house, you name it, they can do whatever they want, but it's just quick and efficient and it's a lot less stress on the family. The second time this will happen is it's just a living estate sale. Maybe it's an older couple looking to downsize. Maybe they've been living in the same house for decades, and now the kids are moved out and they're ready for something smaller. They no longer need all that space, so they will do a living estate sale. They will keep everything they obviously want to put in their new place, but if the place is smaller, they no longer need as much furniture and maybe all the knickknacks. They don't need it anymore, so they will hire a company to come in and kind of get rid of their extras for them rather than trying to do it themselves or having to just donate it and make zero money on it. So there's both a situation where someone has passed and other times it's a living estate sale and they just need help downsizing. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into how do they work. So really, it's a nosy person's dream. You really just get to walk in the house and just start snooping around, and it sounds illegal, but I promise it's 100% legal and a-okay. But I really just treat it like a department store like Dillard's or Macy's, where they've got like a men's section, a shoe section, a women's section, perfume is over here, furniture is over here. It's just like that. I just start going through anything and everything. I'm picking up the stuff I want to get. Sometimes I do have a whole table if you start to accumulate a lot of stuff. I have gotten things stolen off the whole table, so use it at your own risk. But sometimes there is like a whole table, so if you start to accumulate a lot of stuff, you can make your own pile and then you can continue to shop and then just keep adding to your hold section. But once you find everything you like, you can just find the little checkout area and you can pay and then you can leave. For the bigger furniture items, either you can bring your old sold stickers, or a lot of times they will have people in each individual rooms, like people working the sale, that will have sold stickers that can mark it down for you. And then all you have to do is bring your little receipt up to the checkout counter, you pay for the furniture piece, and either you can leave with it that day, or sometimes the sales will prefer you to come back at the very end of the sale to come and get it from the house. A lot of times you do have to bring your own help though, when you get the bigger pieces, like the furniture pieces and stuff, because they don't want to be liable if anything happens. So you do have to bring your own help, so be mindful of that when you're furniture shopping. Now that we know what they are and how they work, let's talk about where to actually find them, because all that information is great, but if you don't know where to look, where to find them when they're happening, it's useless. So let me tell you about estatesales.net. Okay, I love estatesales.net. It's both an app and a website, and this is not sponsored. Let me make that loud and clear. It's not sponsored. It's just my ride or die when it comes to estate sales. Okay, I check that thing on both Sundays and Wednesdays. Sundays because sometimes there are some sneaky estate sales that start on Monday and Tuesday, and I like to go to those when I can because there's little to no competition because most people are at work. But I also check on Wednesdays because a lot of times sales will start on Thursday or Friday, and I want to be in the know. I want to be able to plan my weekend out. Which ones am I going to? Which ones am I not? And estatesales.net will give you a full preview, both pictures and a description of what's going to be sold. They also have a terms tab, so you know if they take cash, card, Venmo, etc. And then it will also give you directions. They typically won't release the actual address until like the day before or a couple days before the sale actually happens. So if you get on there and it doesn't say any address, it just gives you like a general city, don't worry. You can favorite it and then come back to it closer to the sale date and it will actually give you the address. But I'm going to show you here in a voiceover exactly how I go about looking on that website and show you how user-friendly it is right now. So when you log on to estatesales.net, it's super user-friendly. All you have to do is type in your city or zip code and it will pull up everything going down in your area. All those dots on the map are different sales, but before I get into that, I like to come down on the side and make sure the only thing I have clicked is estate sales because that's the only thing I'm interested in. From here, you can adjust your range of how many days in advance you want to see. I like to keep it between 4 and 7 days just so I can plan out my week and decide what I want to go to versus not. From here, I'm just going to click on one of the dots and give you a preview of what that actual page looks like. So it gives me the title and then it tells me the address will not be released until the day before, and as you can see, it tells me the days and exact times I can go shopping. Down here in the terms and conditions, this is basically your rules and regulations. This one actually does take Venmo and Zelle, which is not common, but you do want to go ahead and look at that because if you brought a card to the sale, you would not be able to buy anything. It gave us a written description, and then this is a picture version of the written description. Since that one was so small, I decided to give you a full fantasy in Atlanta, Georgia. So here we are looking at their terms and conditions, and as you can see, it's a lot more detailed. They're a lot more strict with what they allow. So here, there are no large bags or purses. You will be turned away, and they only take cash or credit. Scroll down a little bit more, and as you can see, like I mentioned before, you have to bring your own help for furniture and things like that. So really make sure you pay attention to this terms and conditions tab. Again, they're going to give us a written out description of what's going to be available. It's got Pyrex, it's got artwork, designer bags, all of that good stuff. But let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit further and actually get a visual of the stuff that they're going to be selling. And it does look like a lot of bougie stuff, which is fun to kind of see. I like to go to some estate sales just to see what people like to collect and things like that. Again, I love to be nosy. The first bedroom is looking a little bleak, but we do see some leather. We see some designer brands, if you can call it designer, Michael Kors. Scrolling down some more, I'm starting to see Dior, which is definitely a designer brand, some Tory Burch, lots of really good jewelry. The men's closet looks very golf heavy. Scrolling down some more, lots of hats, some more outerwear, some shoes, things like that. So this would be something I personally was into because I like to go for like the shoes, the jewelry, and the clothing. So it kind of helps you make that decision before you drive out there on whether it's worth it for you to go or not. Dang, even Ralph Lauren plates and stuff. I didn't even know they made plates. Looks like some Kate Spade stuff. Crazy. Now, which one should you go to / which ones should you avoid? I really can't make that decision for you. That is the beauty of having the previews on estatesales.net. you can kind of see whether you think it's going to be worth your time or not. Everyone has different interests, so somebody that's a man might be more interested in that first sale, or anybody that's into cars and stuff like that. The first sale that I showed on that preview, that might be for you. But if you're more into clothes and jewelry and things like that, the second sale I showed you, that would be more of my speed and something that I would go to. So use the previews to kind of determine whether you think it's worth going to or not. Use the address to see if it's like, is it worth making a 2-hour drive? Is it worth going over to this area, to kind of make that decision for you. The only other thing I would say is that if you see something that says regionally featured or nationally featured, sometimes even locally featured, those typically will bring out a lot more people. So if you're not used to estate sales, I would not go at the very beginning of those, just because it is a little bit hectic. People will be getting there at like 4 a.m. if the sale doesn't start till 9 a.m. Like, it's just a lot more intense if you go to those. So I would either wait to go towards the end of the day when the busyness has kind of died down, or I would wait till the end of the sale if you're not used to going to estate sales, because like I said, the ones where they're like featured regionally and nationally can get a bit crazy. I went to one that I thought was in the middle of nowhere in Alabama, and I ended up seeing people from Nashville there. Some people from North Carolina came out. Like, there were so many people. I pulled up 2 hours early and I was number 76. And I was there 2 hours early. Some people came and stayed there overnight. They wanted to be for like crazy. So if you're not used to estate sales, I would not go to a regionally or nationally featured one, because they can be very intense very fast. But other than that, just look at the previews and that will help you decide whether you want to go or not. What should you actually be bringing to these estate sales? So there's a few things that I recommend. The first one being a small crossbody or a fanny pack. And I recommend that for 2 reasons. One, you really don't need anything other than the essentials anyway. All you need is your phone, your wallet, your keys, and maybe some chapstick. So you really don't need anything bigger than a crossbody anyway. It also allows you to do shopping hands-free, because the last thing you want to worry about is like your purse falling off your shoulder, because it is a little cramped in some of these closets when you're shopping. So you really don't want to have to worry about things falling off your shoulder while you're shopping. I say the same thing for thrifting. Just a small fanny pack. You really don't need much more than that anyway, so only bring the essentials. Other than that, a lot of these estate sales are so picky these days about you not having a purse or shoulder bag anyway. They do not want you stealing. Some of these will even go as far as having security at the door and cops sitting in their cars outside these estate sales. They are so serious. And I've even seen somebody in Houston get turned away for having a shoulder bag. They did not see the terms and conditions. I guess they just pulled up to this estate sale because they saw the signs, and they got all the way to the front of the line and they got sent back to their car, and they had to go to the back of the line. They did not get to keep their spot in line, and they were pissed about it. So it's just really easy to avoid if you just have a small crossbody or a fanny pack on you. What else? Your reusable bags, you can get these literally anywhere. Target, Walmart, Amazon, the Dollar Tree, Aldi, Publix, literally anywhere. I recommend having your reusable bags simply because even though you get to shop like it's a department store, they will not give you bags at the end of the day. When you check out, you just have to either carry your stuff or you just have to carry your stuff because they're not going to give you anything. So it's nice to have your reusable bag on you to make it easy to get all your stuff back to your car. But also, while you're shopping in the house, clothes get heavy really freaking fast. So it's easy to just put all your clothes in your reusable bag as you're shopping. And then when you get to checkout, you can easily take it out. They can price it out for you and they can put it back in your bag. It just makes your life easier. The last thing I recommend is a box with a towel or a blanket, which sounds a little crazy, but if you're into buying glassware, anything fragile for that matter, you want to be able to get it home safely, and they're not going to give you a box to help you get it home safely. So if you already have a box in your car with the blanket and everything, you can get your fragile items home safely and soundly, because the last thing you want to do is get home and your stuff be broken. These new beautiful pieces you bought were broken. So those are the 3 things I highly recommend you bring to your estate sales. Okay, the last thing I want to address is pricing, because it's such a loaded question. I've tried to record this multiple times, and I just at this point, I just have to get it out because I don't know what to say. But pricing is all determined on your location and the company hosting it, just like everything else in life. So if you're in a major city, my best advice is to get out of the city. Your pricing is definitely going to be 10 times better outside the city. I live in Alabama, which is already way lower than a lot of the places here in the United States, but I also do not live in a major city in Alabama, and I hardly ever go to any in the city, like in the major cities. So I do get the better pricing, but at the same time, I don't get the same inventory options as I would if I were in a major city like LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. Like, you have a lot higher chances of running into those designer brands, Chanel, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, all those things like that people are into, and like the super trendy pieces, like you're gonna find those in those major cities. So if that's what you're looking for, my biggest recommendation is to stay in the cities, but go towards the end of the sales, because just about every single estate sale on day 2 or day 3, whatever the last day is, things should be discounted between 40 and 75% off. So while you might miss out on some stuff on day 1 and day 2, if you're looking for the deals and steals, I would definitely recommend going towards the end of the sale, because like I said, they're pricing to sell at that point. It's like a everything must go clearance sale type thing. I've even gone to an estate sale on the last day, in the last hour, and I was picking out stuff, and literally as I'm going through the closet, she sees that I have like 4 or 5 things, and she goes, you know what? Give me $20 and I'll let you have all the clothes in the rest of this house. And she literally gave me like 8 trash bags worth of stuff, because apparently at this estate sale, nobody wanted clothes. And so she literally just gave me so much stuff. I ended up donating a good chunk of it because I also didn't want it. But the fact that I got like that much stuff at the end of the estate sale was crazy. At $20, insane. So, recommendations pricing wise is to get out of your major cities and honestly just go to estate sales often, because after a while you start to understand like how companies price. So there's 2 estate sale companies here where I live, and they are both just pricing to sell. They are ready to get rid of it, and they take on just about any and every client. Like, I'm talking hoarders, I'm talking about minimalists. They literally take on everything. They do not care. If you want to do an estate sale, they will throw it for you. They're not picky at all. So they price to sell, because they're just trying to help the family get rid of it, make a quick buck, and keep it pushing. But there's another estate sale company here where I live that is very, very picky. They maybe do 1 a month, maybe. And they are so particular about the estate sales that they do. I'm telling you, every single time I've gone to one of their estate sales, it's the most gorgeous home, mansion, compound. Like, they only pick the best, like top-notch places. And so I love going to those just to like, even just a look around, because the way these houses are laid out is beautiful. It's inspiring and stuff like that. But I know they're gonna be pricing accordingly, because they know exactly what they have. Like, they will have a full display of like Chanel bags and Prada bags and like all this stuff. And while they're priced reasonably for what they are, like I'm talking like $1,400 for a vintage Chanel, like that's not out of pocket by any means, but that is not within a price range I'm willing to pay. So for those estate sales, I will only go at the end, because I know that the clothes are gonna be 50% off. In jewelry, they only do 20%, but like I'm okay with that. So I will only go towards the end of their estate sales, because that is like where I get my big ticket items. That's where I get my like furs and my leathers, like pants and stuff like that. I get a lot of my nicer clothes at those estate sales, and I know the quality is going to be there, simply because they are very picky about the ones that they choose to take on. So I do only go to those at the end. And so the more you go to estate sales, the more you start to learn how people move and operate with their sales. What else did I want to say on that? I don't know if I wanted to say anything else. I know I just kind of rambled on. But pricing is just so hard, because I will see like $2 to $5, and then I could go to a major city, and the same thing I would have paid $2 to $5 for is all of a sudden like they're charging $20 for a t-shirt. No, absolutely not. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is the more you go to these, especially if you're like a vintage seller, I 10 out of 10 recommend making friends with the people that host these sales, because they run me deals all the time, because they know I'm going to be buying in bulk. Like, I just went to one recently. I came out with 3 trash bags worth of stuff for $40. Yeah. They ran me a deal. It was literally day 1, but they know I'm going to clean house and we're closed, and so they always give me a good deal. So there's a lot of things that can kind of go into pricing, but overall, go towards the end if you want the best pricing, but go on day 1 to kind of see what's available. And get out of your major cities if you want the cheapest pricing. So yeah. My final tips for success, I really don't have anything else because this video was very in-depth and I did not expect it to be this much of a production. But if there's something you see in the preview that you like really want, can't live without, it's like your dream item, get there early. I'm not saying you need to be there 4 hours early, but like 1 to 2 hours early is highly recommended, which sounds a little bit crazy, which it is, but like if you really want that item, there's chances that other people also really want that item. And so in order to increase your odds, I recommend getting up, going to the estate sale, signing your name on the like sign up sheet, or grabbing a little sticker, because some do sign up sheets, some do like number stickers. Either way, get your place in line, and then at that point, if you want to leave, go get breakfast, you can. I don't always recommend leaving because sometimes it is really crowded by the time you get back, and parking is a nightmare. But also too, if you're not there within 30 minutes of that start time, you can run the risk of losing your spot in line, because if they start asking people to line up and they're calling out names and you're not present, some of them are ruthless and they will give your spot up and you will have to go at the end. So just be wary of that. A lot of times I will not leave early. I will just grab breakfast or something, like some kind of snack on the way, and grab a coffee, and then after I sign my name, I'm really just chilling in my car and I'm like catching up on YouTube stuff, or like I'm editing a TikTok video, or I'm watching cartoons on Hulu, something like that. But yeah, just get comfortable. If there's something you really want, get there early, sign your name, secure your spot, and then you can kind of chill out. So yeah. All right, everyone, that is going to conclude today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope you learned something. If you, for whatever reason, have any questions, this was pretty in-depth, so you might not have any questions, but if you do, definitely leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, learned anything, definitely let me know in the comments, because this is a topic I love to discuss, and I go literally every single weekend. I have 2 already on my radar coming up in the next couple days. I am not the best about posting them here on YouTube. I do post a lot of them on like TikTok and Instagram and things like that, so I will leave my handles here if you would like to follow me over there for some more short form content. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I will leave those there if you want to follow me over there as well. But I hope you guys truly did enjoy this content. Please subscribe if you aren't already. I have more estate sales and vintage shopping and styling coming up here in the next couple weeks. I've been a little off my game because, like I said, life has just been smacking me around, but I'm determined to get back on the bandwagon and up and running. So I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys next time. Love you guys so much. Bye.